So, this is the week one of the XFL season 2025. As you know, this is the second season because, the USFL and the XFL merged, just in case people didn't know that. So, the person you're seeing on my right, if you want like football such as the XFL, the CFL, or any other news you want, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend, Mr. XFL Jim, onto the program. How are you doing, my friend?
What's up? I'm doing real good. I'm feeling alive. This is my favorite time of year. Beautiful UFL football about to be happening literally this Friday. The season begins. There's been a lot of chaos in the
And
offseason, but I'm here.
And I also forgot to mention this. Since I live in the Metro Detroit area, I am a Michigan Panthers fan. So I have been to a couple of Michigan Panthers games. But I got to tell you, this was back when it was the USFL. But I'm looking forward to going for this upcoming 2025 season.
It's going to be a fun one. I'm very excited. I've only been so I went to an XFL game back in 2020. I went to the USFL Championship in 2022. And then I went to an XFL game in 2023, and then I went to the UFL Championship last year. So I'm trying to keep the streak alive.
Okay. Well, before we got into the air, I just found this out that the league and the union has not come to an agreement. So if the players do go on strike, Fox will air reruns of The Masked Singer. As you know, the Fox network, they don't air like shows on Friday nights. They most of the time they air like live sports on Friday nights. This would be a big blow if they don't come to an agreement. I just found this out before we got into the air, but I heard it's more about the cash.
So from everything I've heard, is that it's a health insurance argument. Is the players want year-round health coverage, and I don't suspect that a strike is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't weigh it on the scale of like super likely. If by the odd chance it does, that sucks. That's awful. That's no fun. But I think we're gonna get UFL football this week.
Right. Because Fox is looking like, look, we got to get this deal done because if we don't, then we don't want to lose any money because, I mean, baseball just got started with their season. And then, of course, Fox is going to air the college basketball crown, which is a new postseason tournament for those that people are not aware of. So Fox doesn't want to screw this up.
Now they want to keep this gravy train rolling. I feel like this was poised to be a big year for the UFL. It still very easily could be. I'm excited for the prospect of Friday night games. That's my change that I'm looking forward to is the Friday night time slot. What does it mean for the league, and how can they capitalize on it?
Gotcha. Now, here's another thing that happened. So apparently, I wrote this on the 586 Sports site, by the way. You can actually find this article. There have been two UFL coaches departed days before the UFL opener. So the first one was Ken Wizahunt. He's going to take a leave of absence from the Memphis Showboats. And then another one that was Reggie Barlow from the DC Defenders, and he was hired as the head coach at Tennessee State. Now, people tend to forget that this is a league of development. It's not like the NFL, you know what I mean? Because even though it is pro, but is more of a minor league. I think many people tend to forget that. But I'm not surprised that, the coach left. So I'm not really shocked about that, but people got to, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, obviously, we don't know with Wisenhunt whether it's personal reasons for him. We don't know why exactly he's gone. I hope the best for him. For Reggie Barlow's situation, it's hard to discredit the guy. Like, obviously, you hate him leaving literally 3-4 days before the season begins. But when you have an opportunity to coach a college team, make more money, that's what these guys are trying to get into for the most part. The UFL has like two types of coaches. They have your retired sort of coaches like Bob Stoops, who are kind of like, this is basically what they're doing just till they're done coaching for good. And then you got the guys that are trying to be up and comers and trying to get like opportunities like Reggie Barlow did to like coach at an HBCU like Tennessee State. I hate that he's bringing his entire staff with him. It seems like I hate that everything's going with them, and it sucks for the players in DC, and it sucks for the fans in DC. But that's the reality of sports. There's been plenty of times where you see college football teams where what was it? It was Michigan State when Michigan State fired their head coach, and then they steal Oregon State that February. Colorado, same thing as how they got Dion. They put Dion in February. It's, it's, it's the reality of the sport.
Exactly. Now, one of the things I noticed about this UFL league is that I love this league. Ever like I said, I've been following this since like the USFL since 2022. The biggest problem I have with the league is the lack of promotion. I mean, like outside of like content creators, because like I know like here in Detroit they did interview Mike Nolan of the Michigan Panthers. I'm like, that's great, but it's just this. It's just like the lack of local media needs to promote this because like if they're not promoting it as they should, then nobody's not going to know where like it's actual football. So that's the biggest thing I have my issue with the UFL is like the lack of advertising in local media.
They did a little bit better this year compared to last year. It looks like they were really targeting certain markets. It looks like Memphis got a lot of push. It looks like Birmingham got some push compared to what they did in 2024, but they could always do more. And I feel like they had some issues with like the main marketing branches. Some of the local spots seem to kick it out of the park, but there's a lot of weird disconnect stuff going on with the UFL. The way some people in like the higher brass treat members of the media is weird. What even classifies as media is weird some of the time. It's the one thing I will say the UFL definitely needs improvement on year in, year out is the marketing. They've kind of stepped it up a little bit better this year. Still very much need to work on it.
Because that was my biggest scare. Of like, hopefully it don't be like last year. But if they do it right, then expect the ratings to be better than last year.
Mm-hmm. I think the TV ratings will be at or maybe even a little better. There's still not a ton of competition for football. I think if the product is good, people will tune in. Getting butts and seats is a much harder thing.
That's very difficult.
That's a market by market situation, and they definitely need to do better at it. I don't know if they need to do season ticket packages. I'm not the expert here.
Right.
I have some ideas, but I don't know. They got to pay me for them.
Right. And then I've heard there have been rumors that they're trying to expand as far as like cities. So like if there is a city I will look at San Diego. I will look at Canton because Canton does have a Pro Football Hall of Fame, but I think it's too big. In my opinion, they got to go somewhere else to find a to host the stadium in Canton, Ohio. I'm pretty sure they'll find a solution. I'm just giving an example. I'm trying to think of another city. Oklahoma City. That can also.
I've heard that one pop up. So I have like a whole master list of cities that people. So I'm still working on a video. It probably now won't be released till the off season, but okay. I made a whole list on potential UFL expansion cities. These are just ones people told me, and some of them I like. Like Chicago was an interesting one. Get a team back in Seattle. The Sea Dragons and the XFL were very highly supported. Seattle would be a big one for me. San Diego, of course, would be awesome. Hard to get a team into California with what you're probably going to be paying. Some people said Oakland would be nice. New Orleans is an interesting one. They had the Breakers. The USFL was slowly going to end up going there anyway. Canton, already a good option. That stadium is about the perfect size. If you get a home team, I think they could fill it because 2023 notwithstanding, but 2022, the USFL Championship, that game was sold out. It was a beautiful atmosphere. I love Canton.
I've never been to Canton before, but I heard there's a really nice. It's a really nice city, especially when you have the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
The city itself is whatever. The Hall of Fame is pretty cool, and the stadium. It was like the atmosphere for the USFL in year one in 2022 was magical.
Right, because remember 2022, it was like a bubble. Yes, we were still under that COVID bubble.
Yep, they did it the whole season in Birmingham.
Exactly. And then did you put New Jersey on your list? New York, New Jersey on that list?
Yeah, I got New Jersey, New York combination. the XFL tried it in 2020, and obviously at this point, post-COVID, you don't want to talk like what did the numbers look like for the 2020 version of the XFL. Also, it's only a 5-week sample size. It wasn't great. Markets like LA and New York are hard just because they're very expensive to get into, and there's so much going on in the city. It's hard to grab. But also, I will say this: the having that big of a population surrounding you, maybe it does give you a little bit more to like. There are probably maybe more football fans, more XFL fans if you can cater to them. But it's really difficult, and you're super close to DC. New York, New Jersey's tough. Also, there's not really anywhere to play besides the Giants and Jets Stadium, which is that it's a tough look.
And plus is big, and I don't know if they're going to fill those seats up.
It's huge,
right? Than it is when you watch it on TV. Because when you watch it on TV, you think it's small, but if you look at it in real life, it's super big.
Yeah, it's too big.
Right. I can't think no other stadium other like if you go to Brooklyn for like a minor league baseball park or something.
I think the worst place that they ever expanded to was Vegas when the XFL did it in 2023. I went to a game there. I went to a Vipers game, and it was very weird.
That's what I thought. That looks super weird. Now, I was looking at the UFL 2025 NFL UFL champion odds, and no surprise, the Birmingham Stallions is the clearly favorite. They're like a plus 190. The Battlehawks are a plus 320. Defenders are a plus 600. The San Antonio Brahmins and the Panthers are a plus 650. Renegades are a plus 1100. And then the Showboats and the Renegades, well, Showboats are like 2,000 and the Roughnecks are like 22,000. So is there a team that could potentially knock off the Birmingham Stallions? Because the Birmingham Stallions have been winning championships ever since they ever played spring football.
If you're looking at the odds, you have to factor in you have potentially two options from the XFL. You have one option from the USFL conference, just because Birmingham is such a dominant force that it's going to be them or bust in the USFL division. So Birmingham's going to make the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. It depends. Do you think the Roughnecks improved greatly from last year? They had a lot of close games. I think they improve on defense. The quarterback play is going to get better. The Showboats, even with the chaos, can they make something happen? Their offensive line was a mess last year. They could do nothing. Or do the Panthers improve? We already know the defense is going to be fantastic. If Perkins stays healthy the whole season, we know he's going to be we assume he's going to be pretty good. So in the USFL side, it's tricky. It's hard to bet against the Stallions even making the championship. If I'm going with a team, and this is my gambler head talking, for the odds, the XFL conference is way closer. It's a way closer competition. I think all XFL teams are much closer together in parity than the USFL side is to the Stallions. So I think you take the team in the XFL conference with the longest odds, and I like the Renegades. I do. Perez's last hurrah. I like what they did on defense. I like the weapons they have. I like the Arlington Renegades. And also, don't factor, they were in a lot of close games too that they barely lost. They could flip some of those, and it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I like the Renegades at plus 1,100. I bet them already. I bet them at like plus 1,200, plus 1,300.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Especially for
10 to 1, like 11, 12 to 1 odds.
And then, of course, like during the UFL XFL season, there is that one specific player that's like very talented that they're actually in the NFL. Is there a player that you can see that can translate to the NFL, in your opinion?
Are we going to talk kickers? Because it feels like it's kicker central over here in the UFL for like sending people out.
Jake Bates last year.
I know Jake Bates is the dude. If I'm picking a guy though, this is his first year in the like spring football zeitgeist. He's been in the NFL before, but I think he goes back. I really think Greedy Williams is going to show off for San Antonio. I think he's going to make a lot happen. I think he's going to be stellar on defense. And I think he's going to get a shot. He'll probably go back to being a backup or a rotation guy in the NFL. I would not surprise me whatsoever. He's a stud.
and that's I will check out on him because I have a plan on doing the UFL Weekly show after this. But I'm hoping like if they can get a deal done, then everything should be all right.
They'll get one done. I believe. I believe there will be no strike.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, that was XFL Jim. And where can my people find you on social media?
You can find me everywhere at XFL Jim, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. I am all over. Just look for XFL Jim wherever I can be found. I do live stream watch-alongs of the game. They're really fun. They got some weird rules going on in the stream. So we're gearing up for season. Oh my God, I've been doing the watch-along since 2023. This is season 3 of the watch-along series. Oh my gosh.
And I also checked something out. I checked out that Prize Picks, the daily DFS app. They're actually doing UFL parlays. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, Prize Picks, Underdog. I think DraftKings will have some lineups for you daily fantasy freaks out there. I just need the actual offshore sports books to start posting UFL lines instead of just DraftKings. I don't have legals betting where I'm at. My state doesn't have it.
Okay. Well, since I live in Michigan, we do have DraftKings and FanDuel and Prize Picks, but it's not a actual app. It's like a free to play, and so I was like, that's kind of a bummer. But I'm hoping that when the season starts, I think like UFL will have like some like a snake draft or something like that, just to get people to play. Like people,
if you're looking for like just regular fantasy, I'm sure ESPN will have something. But Alt Fantasy Sports has like UFL fantasy. They have they have like full season long fantasy for the UFL. Alt Fantasy Sports is great.
Exactly, because like without fantasy, football wouldn't be where it's at. Whether it's like NFL, UFL, college, or whatever. Just feel like when you play fantasy sports, when it comes to football, it just raises your attention.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We both agree. Thank you so very much. Look forward to have you on in the future show. I think I can have you during the UFL Championship. That's where I plan to have you in the future.
I mean, maybe. Usually, I try and make the game, so I might be in St. Louis. Maybe I'll be able to do it from my phone.
Okay, but yeah, I'll try to do it before like the actual game because this year it'll be on ABC, so that means it'll be on a Saturday.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there. I'm definitely going to be there.
Because I know last year Fox did it, so this year it'd be on ABC.
Yes.
Right. Because usually ABC don't air stuff on Saturdays like that unless it's like NBA.
I love it. I'm so excited for this season.
Same here. So thank you very much.
Anytime.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure you follow our social media pages and don't forget to visit our website at 5a6sports.com for the latest news in the sports world.